Welcome to the Amitrace Podcast. I'm Tom White, your host, and today we are live at the GSPA Fall Conference in Athens, Georgia. This podcast, as all Amitrace podcasts, is produced on the VidPOD, 4-person mobile video podcast solution. Go to amitrace.com/podcasts for more details. I'm joined today by Laura LaChappelle from Jackson High School. Laura, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely.
And you and I, obviously I have relations in Jackson, but tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I'm Laura LaChappelle. I am a 30-year high school teacher. I currently teach history and yearbook, so I'm here with my yearbook staff at the GSPA conference.
Excellent. And talk about GSPA and kind of what it does for you guys, especially this conference.
Well, I just went to the grammar session, for instance, and it taught me a lot. In terms of AP style, having taught English before and used MLA style as a history person, using Chicago-Turabian style, AP is completely different. And so realizing that some of the things that I'm so used to teaching the kids are actually wrong for yearbook style. So playing that Kahoot and getting the feedback from Dr. Dennis was fantastic. And that's just one example. So the kids come back with lots of good ideas that they can use.
And so you did make it for your Kahoot session. We were talking about that last night.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Excellent.
We got on the bus at 6 o'clock this morning.
Awesome. And I passed you. I don't know if you knew it or not, but I passed you coming in. You were turning off of Lackey, and I was turning on to
Oh, how
36.
funny. Yeah, that was me leaving home.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what you guys do with Yearbook, because you guys are one of those programs that as an educator and a person who loves educators, I'm proud of, because I feel like I see your students everywhere. So talk about kind of what goes into that and give some praise to some of your kids.
Oh, I've got a fantastic group this year. I only have 2 returners, Carly and Sydney, one of whom is only a Journalism 2 student and in her second semester with me, and only a sophomore. And they are my editorial staff. So Mama Carly, I call her sometimes, takes care of her staff. But I've got 15 kids, and 13 of them are brand new this year to yearbooking. I got a good chunk of underclassmen, they're freshmen and sophomores. So we started this year by taking them on a trip to Tennessee to see the Jostens plant, to kind of get the behind the scenes how this works. We're doing a lot of like yearbook boot camp kind of stuff. But for the past 6 years, we've really worked on growing our book, increasing the size, increasing the coverage. Our coverage percentage has been over 60%. 3 times or more in the book, which continues to be our goal. We want to continue to increase that each year. So just making it a better quality publication for our little local community.
Awesome, and your kids do a great job, obviously. I see, like I said, I see them everywhere. Something else that we talked last night, we were at the NHS induction, and we talked last night, and I told you we'd bring this up. One of the things that I love that you and I are a part of is the American Exchange Project,
yeah,
yes.
American Exchange Project.
Talk a little bit about that.
This is such a cool program, and every time I talk to former students or community members, their first comment when they hear all about it is, man, I wish that was around when I was in high school. That would have been so cool. It is a program in its now 6th year. Their first exchange was in 2021, and Jackson, Georgia has been the only school in Georgia to date, although the program is growing, to offer this to our students. It is a 2-week domestic exchange program that is completely funded. So basically, high school graduates, emerging adults on the cusp of the rest of their lives, get a chance to spend 1 week in a different region of the country. They get out of their bubble, basically. And they go, if they're living here in Georgia, they're going to go to California or Maine or, the middle of rural Minnesota or Sheridan, Wyoming or somewhere like that. And then we welcome kids for 1 week in Jackson, and our kids get to sort of rediscover their hometown and its beauty and joys, and also show it off to people from all over the country. And the purpose of it, the founder is David McCullough III, whose grandfather was a famous American author and historian. I have shelves full of his books in my home. David McCullough was in grad school and substitute teaching in the Boston area. greater Boston area, and it was obviously a higher socioeconomic area. But he did a road trip as part of his graduate research into kind of middle America, much lower socioeconomic areas, and just a completely different region. But what he noticed is that no matter where he was, when he was talking to kids, teenagers, they were essentially all saying the same thing. They were all saying that they live in a bubble. And so as a way to, the ultimate goal of this program is really to heal the nation. Get out of your bubble and let's discover different parts of our beautiful country, but also let's discover that no matter where we are, stereotypes aside, we're all Americans. And we can embrace our differences and really find a lot more commonality than people think in this day and age. And given how fractured our country has been in the last few election cycles, the last decade or so, it's such an incredible opportunity for young people to discover, we're just all Americans.
And we've hosted 3 times now, and my son did it. TJ did it last year.
I was so excited he got to go to Boston.
He was so. The best part was him trying to pronounce Gloucester.
Yes.
But
his Massachusetts pronunciation gave me some giggles too.
Yes. But he was talking about that. We saw him this weekend, and he was talking about that this weekend about how much fun it was and how he had no reason to ever go there, but he would certainly go back now because he knows what it is. And we were talking with Lila's boyfriend last night about it. And we're like, as a high school student, it sounds blunt, but you're dumb to not do it. I mean, there's no cost.
It's such an incredible opportunity. It really is completely free. I have a lot of people who are very skeptical about that, very skeptical about the safety and so on, but it's an incredible program, and because of its goals, they're getting some really high-level philanthropic support. And so a couple of our kids from tiny little Jackson, Georgia have been on like the CBS Morning News, and a news show in San Francisco interviewed one of our kids this last summer. We have kids from rural fringe Georgia who have never been on a plane, who have never been west of the Mississippi, who have never been north of the Mason-Dixon line. Some of these kids might visit Alabama or Tennessee to see family. Some of them have never left the state. Vacations are typically to Panama City to the beach, so they go to North Florida. They've really never been out of that comfort zone. And a lot of them have never been to some of the museums and sites in Atlanta that we take kids to. It's a first time for them, too. So they truly are exploring their own backyard and appreciating it when they host. But it's open to any kid. There's no criteria for grades. There's no criteria for income. Anybody who wants to go, we're going to try to find a way for them to travel.
Yep. And it's
amazing.
It's a very amazing program. And I learned things as the host family and going and doing some of those Jackson things that I had no idea about. I mean, Kelly's been teaching in Jackson for a decade now, and things you just don't know until you go and experience that. So where can people find out more information about it?
So you can go to AmericanExchangeProject.org, and there's a tab that says How It Works, and there are tabs that talk about how to join. And families who are interested in supporting this, maybe you don't have a graduating senior this year, but you love the idea of being part of a program like this, you can host in your local city. It's only 1 week. So sometimes I have families who have said, I've always wanted to host an exchange student, which I know you guys are able to do this year with Anna from Poland. But it's a long commitment. It's a full year. It's a lot. This is 1 week. It's a Wednesday to Wednesday, and that there's just a couple meetings beforehand, so it's really an easy commitment for host families. Families could get involved by saying, hey, we'll host all of you over to our house one night for dinner and just do one evening. There's a lot of ways that people can participate, but for kids, if your family's not able to host, we find host families who are willing. In fact, I have to give a shout out to all of the teachers at Jackson High School, because a lot of our kids who traveled this last summer were just not in a family situation where they could host for a week in their own homes. And so I needed host families. If our kids are going to go out, if we send 10 kids out, we need to be prepared to have 10 kids come in. And I put the word out to the teachers, and I think we had 7 teachers from the high school who hosted kids for us, and a couple of them took 2.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate them because they're making these things possible for our kids to have these experiences.
And speaking as a host family, it's truly not a heavy lift because it's in the summer, and the kids aren't just sitting around the house. Like, there's something for them to do.
They spend most of their days with me on a bus or in, cars with the drivers, but they really are only at the host family's home for, dinners and sleep and breakfast the next morning, and then they get one day, host family day, where you can do whatever, you want with them. But other than that, we have a pretty packed itinerary.
Yeah. I mean,
so you're dropping them off. Host families love to join us sometimes for activities, but they don't have to come every day or at all. So it's easy.
That host family day usually, from my experience, has been a very relaxing day because that's about usually the halfway point.
And everybody's zonked.
Everybody's tired.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me, Laura.
Thank you.
And good luck to your yearbook crew as they prepare for this upcoming
Thank you
release
so much.
here. Thank you.